Good morning. My name is Richard Urbi. I'm with Robotics Trends, and I'm very pleased to be coming to you from beautiful Lyon in the south of France, and very pleased to have Jean-Christophe, CEO of Gostai, with me today. Jean-Christophe, why don't you spend just a couple of minutes telling us a little bit about Gostai, and let's talk about your product and some of the applications and why you're excited about your robotics platform.
Sure. Good morning, Richard. So, Gostai, as some people know, has been a company specializing in software so far. So it came as a surprise for many people to see that we are actually launching our own robot. So we are also in hardware now. The robot is called Jazz, and it's dedicated to this market on mobile telepresence. So this is the news we are showcasing here at the InnoRobo conference in Lyon, in France. And so it's starting for us a new line of activities.
Great. What do you think of the event so far? I believe this is the initial InnoRobo event in France. It's wonderful to see the industry coming along.
It's very impressive because we have 70 exhibitors. I've heard yesterday that there was 3,500, I think, visitors. This is huge. So we are very impressed and very pleased to see that this conference is starting, very well. And there are so many people interested, so many companies exhibiting, and a dynamics that is very promising for the near future.
Perfect. Tell me a little bit about your product line and where you see the product, the applications, the flexibility, the open source platform you have. Tell us a little bit about why you're excited about where you're going with Gostai.
Okay, so the idea of mobile telepresence is this promise that you could somehow teleport yourself into a remote avatar, remote robotic body, so that you can physically be in another place, interact, move around, see what the robot sees, hear what he's hearing, and of course speak, etc. So be virtually projected in a distant location. Of course, when you say that, you're basically facing competition, which is airplane or travel in general, and it's fantastic because if you can replace just a few percentage of the global travel that happens in the world by this teleportation, telepresence technology, you have a big market and you solve a lot of issues, and you increase productivity, you reduce cost, you reduce the amount of wasted energy. So it's an exciting market. What we're targeting so far is mainly companies who have many sites, and so they need to reduce the inter-company travels between different locations. And so this kind of companies for remote inspection, taking part in meetings that involves mobility, so visiting a place or being with your team as a teleworker. These are all markets that we think are promising for this technology.
Perfect. Tell me, beyond the EU, do you see applications in international?
Of course, yes, of course. Yeah. There's, by definition, by the way, because since it's about reducing travel, it's more and more interesting if you, for example, have an office in Europe, in Paris, and another one in San Francisco, than if you are between Paris and the suburb of Paris, of course. So it's by definition international. But so far we start in Europe, and we will then grow to explore opportunities in other parts of the world.
Great. I just was going to ask you, what kind of obstacles or challenges do you see ahead? You know, what do you see in terms of mass adoption of the technology? What are some of the sort of the barriers that you see short-term, long-term to overcome?
I think probably the main barrier is the fact that this is a new concept, a new proposal somehow of how you might communicate in the future. So as anything like that, it will take time for people to understand it, accept it, and actually then want it. And you see these kind of new innovations are always following the same pattern. At the beginning, people are scratching their head and saying, do we really need this? And a few years later, everybody is using it, and they don't even think how they could live without it. So you have many examples like that, the mobile phones or computers, etc. So I think this is the same type of technology that will change the world, but people will need time. So the obstacle is to be ready to have long sales cycles and be able to communicate and do a lot of marketing to explain the concept.
Well, listen, we Robotics Trends thanks you for your support, and we're big champions of what you're doing, and look forward to working with you and hopefully seeing you at Robo Business in Boston later this year.
Sure, looking forward to see you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.